Welcome to this week's edition of the Women's Soccer Report. Here with head coach Eric Teepe. Coach, your team is fresh off a trip to North Carolina. Finished off the trip over the weekend with a win against Kent State. Being able to get that win, especially with the quick turnaround from Friday's match afterward, just talk about how important that was for your team.
Well, I think for us it was good that we kind of played both ends of the spectrum. Our first game, I don't think we played as well as we could have. I think we were passive in a lot of areas, and then we came back and we were complete opposite on Sunday. We were very aggressive. We took chances. We worked as a unit instead of individually. And the results just are there to be seen from that. As I mentioned, it's better to end that way than to go the other way. So hopefully we can learn from that and be more prepared for games coming forward and keep taking steps forward.
Yeah, and the win you guys earned was against a team, Kent State, that had been picked as the preseason favorite for their conference. They had a good year last year too. Just being able to get a win against a quality opponent like that, what does that do for your team?
Well, it just again shows them what they're capable of doing when we put it all together. They're a very dangerous team, and for us to be able to control the game for most, if not all, the whole game, really showed a lot of how we can be, how dangerous we can be, and how strong we can be. Now we just have to find the consistency.
To win that game against Kent State, Elma assisted on the first goal to tie it, and then she later scored the game-winning goal as well. Victoria scored the first goal. It was her first goal of the season. Just those two players, especially just being able to get on the board and building up their confidence, what does that do for the team?
Well, just in general, we need to find more scoring. We have a lot of people that know how to put the ball in the back of the net. We have a lot of people that know how to give them that final pass. But for some reason or another, we've been a little bit passive, and we haven't taken the opportunities that we have. I think this Sunday we definitely began to attack a little bit more, and because of that we were able to get rewarded for it. So I think if we can keep that up, we'll get the goals. It's just a matter of being aggressive consistently and not so much worried about making one more pass, one more touch. We're looking for the perfect shot, just being willing to go out there and let it go and then see what happens from there.
And you mentioned off camera there are still some things you're figuring out with your team, especially just in terms of players and getting comfortable with game flow and that kind of thing. Just from this experience this weekend, what are things that they can build off of for that?
Well, it's not just them. It's us as well as the coaching staff. I think, we got thrown into a couple changes last minute on the game on Sunday, and players that maybe hadn't played as much got thrown into the mix and responded very well. So I think it's a little bit on us as a coaching staff to make sure we keep rotating players and keep getting players involved. Sometimes a player may not play in one or two games, but we need them for a lot in the next game. So I think from a player standpoint, it's always be ready. And, this was definitely a team win. I mean, our team talked about this morning at training how everyone that came in gave us something, and we didn't drop off. So it was a big change of, okay, we make substitutions and just hold on to us, as opposed to, hey, we make substitutions and we keep pushing. It's a big difference for us, and that was huge in the game.
Yeah, so this next game, you get to return home here at University Stadium to take on Hofstra at 7 p.m. Hofstra, they had a very good year last year going to the NCAA tournament. They look to be a decent team again coming in this year. Just playing a team like that, being able to play them back at home as opposed to on the road or at a neutral site, how big of an advantage is that? Well,
I mean, it definitely helps, but at the same time, Hofstra is a preseason favorite as well. We know the quality that they have. For them, it's not an issue of whether they play at home or away. They're going to be good no matter what. And we're in that stretch right now. We have 5 games which are all ultra competitive, and it started with Kent State, and it will continue. And it's got a little local flair to it, so that should help. Be a little bit nicer of a crowd behind it. But it's going to be a battle, and hopefully we can take what we did this past Sunday and grow from that and be ready to challenge Hofstra.
Yeah, and then you mentioned it's a homestand for the team. They also play at home on this Sunday against Army. I know that's still a match away, but just what can you expect out of that match on Sunday?
Again, the same, more of the same. I mean, Army's going to be a tough physical team. They're going to force us to have to really be ready to compete. So it's just a continuation of getting ready for conference. So I think it's 2 great games for us this weekend to get ready, but 2 extremely tough games that we have to be ready for.
Thank you for your time this week, Coach.
Thanks.
That'll do it for this week's edition of the Women's Soccer Report. You can find out more and check out the recent scores and highlights on FDUnights.com.